What's up, YouTube? It's Rocky, and I'm uploading this video because yes, I am still fasting. Oh, this is my 7th day. I'm doing good, but I'm feeling kind of guilty. I'm feeling guilty. I'm feeling afraid because I don't want. And here's for a couple reasons. I don't want to project an unhealthy image of somebody who's trying to get healthy. I don't want to project an image of somebody who's taking risk with their health and engaging in, self-deprivating behavior because I feel guilty about how heavy I am. That is not it. I am fasting because sometimes you can go through life and you can just feel congested. You can feel congested, you can feel, and my hair is coming back in so nicely. Like I said, I did a hair mask and I did too much of something and my hair just, kind of broke off in a few areas. Not all over though. And I'm kind of happy about that. And that's one of the reasons why I decided just to take a break from a lot of things and try to understand what the hell it is I'm doing. Because I was doing things where I was unawares. I was blindly doing things. I was doing things not even subconsciously, but as like a habit or a bad habit or just somebody, getting along through the day. And that is not how I ever have lived my life. That's not how I want to start living my life. And right now I'm heading into my 7th day. I'm feeling good though, because if you fast correctly, it's not really about calorie deprivation. It's about, I don't know. For me, I don't want to say it where I sound all crazy and creepy, but at some point in time in my life, I just started to feel congested. I started to feel like too much was going on. I was putting too much into my body, and it wasn't really bad stuff. I was using my juicer. I was eating healthy. I was exercising, but yet and still, I still felt congested and bloated and tight and I had fasted before. And I wanted to start making that conscious decision just to stop taking in so much of whatever it was I was taking into my body. And that was food and behaviors and attitude and exercising, because nothing was working. Nothing was working. My life had kind of hit a plateau and I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't comprehending anything. I wasn't thinking about anything. I had no goals. Even though I had clear design goals in my life that I'd written down on paper, all of that seemed to have, lost its significance. And I wanted to know why that was. So I just stopped eating. I just started juicing. I just started consuming fewer and fewer meals. And I had even stopped juicing my fruits and vegetables because it just wasn't working for me. It wasn't. And I started to feel that sense of heaviness. Although I wasn't putting on weight, I just felt heavy. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna slowly ease on into, calorie deprivation, into not eating, into not doing anything. And right now, this is like my 7th or 8th day. I think this is my 8th day actually. I basically started off just by, by not consuming huge meals. And then I started juicing my fruits and vegetables, and then I ran out of my carrots and my celery, and I'm just not going to do anything else. I'm just going to, consume water and some roughage, like nuts and some dried fruits and things like that. And I did, and I'm doing that like once a day. Today I haven't consumed anything, and it is my goal, to not consume anything today, because I know that there is something that is locked in my subconscious or in my conscious mind that I need to access, that I'm trying to access, that I have not been able to access. And that's the goal today. The goal is to feel better. The goal is to The goal is to feel better. The goal is to find out what's going on with me emotionally. And because I'm picking up on everything, I'm understanding everything, and I'm trying to basically filter out what is relevant, what is important. And I think that what is important is my safety, my well-being, my health, the safety and well-being of the people that I love, the safety and the well-being of people who truly do have a significant place in my life, because I found myself at a point where I just didn't care about things. I just found myself at a place where I didn't care about things. I found myself, I was in a place, I was just complacent with a lot of things, like how I felt, my mood, my temperament, what I wanted to eat. And that in itself seemed like failure, but I hadn't failed at anything, because everything that I had set goals for, everything that I was attempting to do, I was doing. And that was changing my diet, that was exercising, that was praying every day, that was writing in my journal every day. And that was basically to mark my progress. To mark my progress, to document my progress in my life. And one of the next things that I want to do is to get over this hurdle of self-consciousness about not really liking myself for some reason, and developing the bravery and the courage to actually set out and accomplish those goals. There's something on TV right now, and I'm gonna have to put it on pause. It's The Serpent Queen I'm watching on TV, and not a lot of people talk about what they're watching, but I'm a creature of information, and I love movies that are set in reality and historical reality, and it's just fun, to think about the past and to think about how time. Excuse me, and it's early. It's early in the morning, but it's kind of nice to see interpretations that people have of historical events, and they're interesting. They're interesting and entertaining as well. But I decided to fast because like I said, I was just at an emotional place where I wasn't thinking about anything, and it wasn't because I had failed. And I think I needed to channel that optimism. I think I need to channel that positive motivation that would be a catalyst to me continuing to do what I do until I hit a point of success that I'm happy with, that I'm satisfied with, and just kind of, something to start the ball rolling in my life so that I can remain motivated and continue to accomplish the goals that I set forth in my life, those long-term goals, those short-term goals. I was thinking about goals like I was thinking about the year 2035. That's 10 years from now. Where I want to be, what do I want to accomplish, what do I want to have achieved in my life, based on my own standards, based on my own motivation, based on my own creativity and my ideas, and those things that truly, have my interest. And I basically started doing it, setting goals in the summer of this year. Something tragic happened, and I was like, I'm just not going to let my life, go to waste. I cannot do it. So one of the things that I had decided to do was to take my weight loss and my wellness journey seriously. And it has led me on a path of discovery about nutrition, about foods, about lifestyle. Most of the things that I have been curious about since I was a child, since I was really young. I can't believe it. The environment, psychological issues that I had been encountering with depression, and addressing those issues, not just with medication, but with my own habits and behaviors, because I started to remember the things that I used to do when I was younger that brought me so much gratification, that helped me develop the optimism that I needed to get from one stage of one stage in my life to the next. said stages twice, but to get from one point in my life to the next, as far as the goals that I set, and it has been difficult. It has been very difficult, but I am making some progress though. And like right now that I'm making this video, and I'm fasting, I'm feeling better. I'm at a point now where I realize what my congestion is. My congestion has a lot to do with me and my willingness to take risk. To take those small, tiny risks that challenges the routine and the norm of my life. My routine every day, I get up every day, I make myself a cup of coffee, I drink water, I check on my loved ones and my pets, and then I start creating content, I start writing down ideas. And that still was enough. It wasn't enough. I felt the desire to do more, I felt the desire to be more creative, but I did not have the courage to move to take that next step. And that is to be more transparent about my weight and my health, to be more transparent. I mean, it's enough to make content about your hair, man, and growing out your hair and experiencing the success and the failures of growing out your hair, and not really, and then acknowledging the reality of all the time and effort that I put into washing my hair, keeping it clean, conditioning it, and trying out different products that work and products that don't work. And when I came to a point and to an understanding where I had made an error or a mistake with over processing my hair, just with simple, all natural ingredients, I realized that I was still vulnerable in a lot of ways. And mainly vulnerable to my own mistakes and my own errors, and that I should, be more careful and more observant with the process of what I was doing to improve myself or to grow my hair out and to lose weight and to live a more healthy, more productive lifestyle. And it entails a lot. It entails paying attention to yourself every day, how you feel, writing it down. It entails paying attention to even the tiniest of quirks in your life that can grow and become more complex. And I know that seems like a lot to some people, but when you want to live a healthier life, when you know that you're getting older, when you know that something about your life has changed from your youth to you're becoming an adult, when you know that you don't want to lose that vitality and you want to hold on to it as much as possible, I did it. I began to implement changes in my behavior, how I eat. I began to exercise, and not just exercise like everybody else, but to do those exercises that brought me the most reward and the most progress, and that was yoga and Pilates and weight training. And now I'm discovering circuit training, which is interesting, where you do different exercises like in reps of 10 or 12, and you repeat that at least 3 times. Dumbbell lifts, planking, things like that. All of those are fun. But one of the things that I discovered as well that brought me to a point of pause is how heavy I was. I did not recognize how heavy I was until I started attempting to do those exercises, and I realized, oh my God, what I see here and what happens physically is a lot. It's a lot, and it entails the reality that sometimes I'm just too heavy to do certain things, and that also kind of gave me the encouragement to fast again, so that, and yes, to do calorie deprivation, but to also discover what it is that I can consume in a day that would keep me healthy, that would keep me motivated, that would keep me energized, but not, would not cause me to gain weight. And that in itself is a lot, because people who are, I will say for myself, being overweight is a point of anxiety and stress. It's almost like something supernatural, almost. It's like, I don't know how I got to this point, but I'm here, I don't like it, and I want to change it. And it takes gradual changes. And that is the one thing. Losing weight, getting healthy takes patience. And it takes a realistic outlook on what it is that you can accomplish. Because we all think we're going to hit that track and run that mile. We all think that we're going to just go in the gym and knock it out. And you're not. The reality of it is that A, you have to find the motivation to do it. B, you have to find that physical catalyst that's going to say, you have to find that connection from here to physically doing what it is that you want to do. And you have to build up tolerance. You have to build up endurance. And all of that takes time. And all of that takes a realistic perception on what it is that you're capable of doing. And I, for one, found out, like, okay, yeah, and slowly but surely, I mean, I'm increasing my exercise routine, I'm increasing the complexity of my exercises, and I am getting, and the key word here is getting stronger. Because I thought that I would have to lose the weight in order to not be so heavy. No, you got to increase muscle mass. You have to increase, you have to increase the capability of your joints and your connective tissue. Because look, if you've been overweight for a long time, you are really weak in some areas. And that does mean your muscles are weak, your joints are weak. They've been put under a lot of pressure. They've been put under so much strain, and they've taken a beating. And so you have to get yourself back to a point where you have made those areas stronger. And for me, I went to the gym and I picked up a 20-pound weight. When I was younger, 20 pounds was nothing. I went to the gym and I picked up a 20-pound weight, and I had people laughing. And I did not mind, because I was laughing at myself. I'm like, damn. But the last time I competed in an athletic event, was more than 30 years ago. It was a long, long time ago. And the last athletic event that I competed in, I think was I was running track, and I was a cheerleader. And I didn't compete in my undergraduate years. Yeah, that's another thing. And in my undergraduate years, I didn't think it was important, but I never thought to compete in a sport when I was in my undergraduate years, because college for me was just about academics. It wasn't about, those things that I was interested in, like volleyball, cross-country training. Yeah, I learned how to cross-country ski. Yeah. I learned cross-country skiing, and it was the most fun I'd ever had. It was the most challenging. If you've ever cross-country skied, you know what I'm talking about. It's challenging, it's rewarding, it's exhausting, and I loved it. But again, I hadn't competed since I was in my undergraduate years, and that was more than 20-something years ago. Almost 30. So to get my body, and I've had 2 kids. So that is also, and I wasn't like one of those psycho moms that, that felt the need to get my body back in shape. I was one of those moms I was mostly interested in nurturing my kids and to making sure that they were fed, that they were healthy, and to develop their intellectual abilities. So I read to them, and we played music, and we danced, and we took long walks. Hence, that I am so happy just for being the 250 pounds that I am right now. I'm being candid. I'm being transparent. Yes, it is cringe. Yes, it is grueling to admit that to myself. I am being honest. Yes, to be more than 100 pounds overweight is what you think it is. It's nightmarish. It's ghoulish. It's grueling. And there are other emotions that are involved in it, but I'm confronting it every day. I'm being honest with myself every day. And I look in the mirror every day and I'm like, my goodness. I don't say how I got to, I was like, I have a lot to do. And I find that to be more encouraging than reflecting on the fact that, oh, I'm overweight and there's nothing I can do about it. And yes, I can run to the doctor and take Ozempic, but people who are taking Ozempic are still having issues with gaining the weight back. And that to me was debilitating in itself to hear. I want something that is sustaining, and that is only through habits and behaviors. It is only through habits and behaviors. And I wouldn't even say changing my lifestyle. It is through changing habits and behaviors, becoming more mobile, paying attention to what I am eating. Because most of the time when I was eating blindly. And I couldn't even taste half of the stuff that I was eating. And when I was eating, I was basically eating up here. If it was pizza, it was, pizza. It wasn't the nutritional value of pizza, because pizza is actually a really good, healthy food. I mean, mushrooms, vegetables, cheeses, Some people see it in different ways, but I wasn't always going for the heavy meat and heavy sauce pizzas. Not at all. Most of the time I had pizzas, I had hella vegetables, onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, because I love it, with the tomato sauce and the mozzarella cheese. But I also learned that I had to eat those sparingly as well. So, I mean, like I said, it's all about implementing changes in your behaviors, man. And right now, I hope that I'm being very candid in this video. A lot of the stuff that I have to admit to myself and I'm admitting to my audience, it's not all come about lightheartedly. It's with a heavy heart, because I have to admit to myself that I have, taken on some bad habits, that I have allowed, that also my behaviors have become a little too laxed. But I thank God, and I'm grateful that I recognize it, though, because some people don't recognize it until it gets way out of hand. And I don't want to become a burden to the people that I love in my life. And I want to be able to interact with my loved ones and my friends and my family. And I could not do that if I stay heavy. I just cannot. I wouldn't be able to do it. So one of the goals in my life is to become healthier. Is to adopt those new behaviors that will allow me to think realistically about foods and beverages and activities that I engage in. But it's Saturday, and like I said, this is like my 7th or 8th day of fasting, and I'm feeling better, and I still feel a little sluggish, y'all. But I'm sure that I'm feeling sluggish because I'm coming to the realization psychologically, psychosomatically. And psychosomatically means you are connecting the reality of who you are with the psychology of who you are. Like, how can I say this and not do anybody harm? When you are blindly engaging in negative behaviors, you are in a state of denial where you are truly not recognizing what it is you're doing. So psychosomatics means I have brought everything to the forefront. What I'm eating, what my physical stature is, how I'm impaired, and how I can improve it. I mean, that's the only thing you can do is look at life realistically. If you want to make changes in your life, you have to get rid of all delusions, and you have to get rid of all, delusions, for lack of a better word, about, your stature and your behavior. And, only through fasting was I able to do that. And a lot of people fast because, like I said, it's something that's trending. I fasted when I was younger as an athlete because 2 to 3 days of calorie deprivation before an event you realize how strong your body is. And right now during my fast, I realize how strong my body is. I realize how impaired my body is, and I'm willing to make changes. And so it's a behavior that I've engaged in. I'm not acting as part of a trend. I'm acting because I know how rewarding fasting is. I'm acting because I know that psychologically fasting allows you to be mentally aware and alert, because you're not eating as much, you're not drinking as much, and you're only concentrating on what is present. You're only concentrating on what it is that you want to bring into focus. And for me, that's my lifestyle, my habits, my behavior, and my health and well-being. So, but before you fast, take it slowly. Take it slowly. It's going to be exciting if you do try it. It's going to be hella exciting to realize you can go 2 to 3 days without food, but you cannot go 2 to 3 days without water. So you have to drink something in order to stay vital. For me, it has been bone broth. It has been juicing my fruits and my vegetables and adding supplements into it and drinking coffee sparingly. Because I never realized how much caffeine that coffee has in it until I started fasting. And then I would drink like a cup of coffee in the afternoon, and I'm in the bathroom feeling like my insides are spilling out of me. So I would definitely be aware of the of high caffeine beverages that you consume. And this is just, these are just some things that I notice. And hopefully, I'll get to a point where I can really, I know I probably should have filmed my day to day, but like I said, I fast seriously. And for me, I'm not at that point where I can walk and chew gum as far as situations like fasting. My fasting is for me. It's a spiritual endeavor. It's a physical endeavor. It's a psychosomatic endeavor. And when I get to a point of comfort, where my answers are kind of clearer and more apparent to me, then I can probably document my fast and let you guys see it. My fasting duration and what it is I do during that time. And I do hope to get to that point. I'm just not at that point right now and I know that you all don't understand, because a lot of influencers and content creators are able to do that. I'm not able to do that right now. I'm just not, because some points are, during your fast, it's not pretty. It's not a pretty situation. And like I said, I just wanted to upload this video because I'm excited. I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm kind of giving myself a pat on the back. And also, I want to remember it. I want to remember it, and I want to value it. And I do intend to keep sharing my success with you guys. And again, I want to thank you to my new friends and followers. Thank you for liking my content. And I hope that you find the information that I'm sharing with you, important, and I hope you find it entertaining and important, because it is real. It is what I'm doing. It is about the things that I want to accomplish in my life and overcome in my life. And that is, being, feeling stronger, getting better, and improving my health and my well-being. But I'm going to leave you guys right now, because I want to keep you coming back. I want to keep you interested. I want you to keep asking yourself, well, I wonder if she's going to do this, because all of that is important. And I'm hoping that I'm an inspiration to somebody. I hope that I can encourage somebody to think about their lives outside of, what is apparent. I don't know if I said that right. Because sometimes we all live in states of delusion where we don't recognize things, or we don't want to recognize things because they're too scary and too disturbing. But you have to confront things in your life if you want them to change. So it takes 30 days to break a bad habit, but it also takes 30 days to learn a new, more positive, more productive behavior. Peace. And I breathe better. Oh my God. Peace.